Hello, Facebook friends. Scott again, back at my residence. This is vlog number 2 of my new adventure, Growing Contentments. Again, this video and vlog series is all about kind of embracing where you're at and doing what you love, regardless of the obstacles. In this case, I want to live a rural existence, but I live in the city. So, got a lot of challenges ahead. But I want to show the possibilities of what I've been able to do at my own home. But if I can't do it here, I go out and I look for other places to be able to do those things that I enjoy. So this video is about my backyard, and we'll take a tour. I am going to do a voiceover because of the street noise gets a little out of control. So I hope you like this video. Welcome to my backyard. First thing we're looking at is my raised container garden bed with garlic. It was an old worm raising bed that's heated that I just put outside and decided to use it for other purposes. Here's an Asian pear. I have some fruit trees down the side of my yard. As we walk down, you'll notice that I used the backdeeding wood chip method. So I'll talk a lot more about that in future videos. This is a dwarf peach. And in between the dwarf peach and another dwarf peach is a festooned apple tree, which you'll see that means the branches are bent over, and you train it that way. And then this here, and as we look up, you'll see it has like heart shapes and things. It's kind of cool what you can do with apple trees. And then as we walk down to the left there, I didn't get a good look of it, but there's a pear tree that has multiple varieties of pear. This is my paver patio and my fire pit area. I have kind of a terraced yard, and there's my nice little wood pile and my bird feeder. Down to the left, there's raspberries. It's hard to see right now because everything is dormant. Right here, there's horseradish that will be coming up, and you'll really see the growth of that during the year. Again, that's my little bird feeder that I feed all my native birds. They are a blessing and they are a curse when you have birdhouses and you feed your birds. Again, walking down the Flagstaff Paver Patio, there's raspberries to the left, and then here's my chicken buddies. I've got a double-sided coop, and then I've got the big run with the metal fence around it. It's a wisteria tree in the coop. It gives them a little bit of protection, and the coop is raised up off the ground so that they can get up underneath it and stay dry or get away from predators. But I have multiple varieties of chickens, and again, we'll talk a lot more about chickens in future vlogs also. There's some Americanas and Barnevelders you're looking at right there. Now moving on, we will be looking at the coop itself. Again, I built it probably 6-7 years ago, or it's got 2 entrances, one through the side that I just put in last year so they could get in and out when I was raising a different group of birds before I integrated them. And then there's an entrance through the bottom of the right where they can climb up into the coop where the nest boxes are. Here's a little bin. This is all the chicken manure, straw, hay, and all the stuff from the bedding. It was heated up quite nicely, but it's cooled back down to 84, it looks like. And this little contraption I just built is, I've got sweet peas planted in this, and it's got bird netting on it. And if you attract birds, I say they're a curse, is that what they do is they'll let the plants get to about 8 inches tall, and then you'll come out one day and they're just sticks. And they eat all the little Tweety birds, the chickadees and the finches eat up all your peas before they can germinate, or before they can produce, I should say. This is a bamboo, another curse. It's a blessing and a curse. We'll talk more about bamboo. Coming along the flagstone pathway, you see there is a bean trellis that goes up about 10 feet, and then there's the stairs that go up separate the 2 paver patios. But I plant my beans here, and then I use the pole beans, and they climb up, and it makes easy picking, but they get pretty tall. The black plastic bins are my potato bins, and those are already planted, and we'll talk again about those in a future video. Again, all these topics I talk about will be future videos. Lots of content to talk about. Along my fence here, there's more apple trees. There's 2 or 3 that are espaliered, and you'll see my beautiful espaliered apple on the end here. And at the base of the espaliered apple is strawberry bed, and I've got them mulched in with leaves and manures and things. And then the whiskey barrel containers, I usually plant lettuce in, and I'll talk more about that, but it keeps the bugs out, and it works pretty well. I move my produce around throughout the yard every year. This year I'm going to put the tomatoes, as you see the cages, I'm going to put them on my top tier. That's where I grew squash last year. Here's the strawberries. Get a little bit better look at those. And then as we move up on the other side of the yard, I've got some flowers and I've got lilies and things in this little bed up the side of the wall there on the right. And then my flagstone paver patio splits, and then I can do a walk around. Again, the tomatoes. There's mums and there's herbs in this area here and some daisies. There's rhubarb in the middle, and my herb garden is generally right here. You can see there's some thyme and a little bit of parsley there. And then you'll see right here on the left, as I'm going up the path, I think I'll zoom back over, you see those onion-looking deals. Well, those are Egyptian walking onions, and they're kind of a cool thing. They put the bulbs on the tips of the leaves, not in the bulb. As we walk up here, I have a maple tree on the left there, and then as you see this big pit, it's kind of an interesting thing. It is now my compost area, and so right up here I've got asparagus planted around. I've got herbs and I've got roses, and then this is a grape trellis that I just cut it way back, and I need to repair it a little bit. But this is the new compost bin. I decided it used to be a trampoline pit, and so I put walls in. I just use the cinder blocks that I've had throughout my yard for various projects, and I'm using this for my compost now. And if you look in here, you'll see some red wiggler worms that are just throughout my whole yard. And the thing about the backdeed gardening method and keeping the soil covered is the amount of natural life just booms. And here's my buddy. This is Mr. Lincoln. He's my constant companion, so you'll see him a lot. More lilies, roses, and again the grape trellis. And you got two different types of grapes. It's got a Concord and it's got just a green eating grape mixed together. These are Blackberries. Little blackberry patch right in here. We get some pretty good blackberries. They're a little bit tart. And then across the way, this is where I've got, as it pans to the left, I've got a bunch of raspberries. And again, because the yard's dormant, you just have to use your imagination. There's a bunch of raspberries along this fence line here. And then going back down into the herbs, and then some more of the whiskey barrels that I plant my lettuces and spinach and things in. And looking down over the tomatoes and the strawberry beds and the Spalliard apple again. And then as we turn left, we're going to walk up onto the top tier. This is the first little patio where I put my barbecue that I built probably 20 years ago. And then we'll march up to this patio. That was my first foray into paver patios, and I did this one about probably 12 years ago, and it's still in pretty good shape. I use it for our little picnic table. I have moss growing in this little central walk-in area it's got flagstone that's a little bit covered. And then I've got flowers, and I've got all kinds of stuff in here. It's just really green and pretty in the summer, and that's where my favorite dog Whiskey is laid to rest. Good old dog. And as we walk into my newest patio area, which I did 2 years ago, there's my shed that I'm using kind of as a workshop, but I've got to work outside because it's so small. But this is where I hang out and do all my fires. Again, this is a 2-year-old paver patio, and I've got pretty good at doing paver patios, and it's holding up pretty well. And I like to sit out here, and every fire video you see me post in the future, we'll be sitting right here, kind of hanging out with the chickens, overlooking the garden. And I like to use all the charcoal from the fires, and I mix it either in my compost or I put it in the chicken yard for them to dig through. Now this is some interesting wood there. You see that red wood? That's a very unique heartwood, and that is my flowering plum that's in the front yard. I've made a spoon out of that. Little seating area, and then as we walk back up the side of the house, back to the side entrance, the man door to the garage, we're back to the orchard with the dwarf peach and the apples and the Asian pear at the top. Now this is what it can look like, and it does look like in the summer, so you just kind of get a feel for how things are. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. Please hit subscribe and like and share. And I want to build this channel and hopefully provide good content for you.